Welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at building a new 2TC, Apex 2TC, my version. Have a new, I found a heavier duty covering for the part of the rope that goes around the girth edge of the tree. The sliding section especially, so that part should last longer. And other than that, it's the same one I showed recently for 2024. So real quick, I'm going to go through the amounts of rope and hitch cord and webbing, heat shrink that you need. I use a 30-foot. I use 9mm HTP for these. I have used 10. It's the 10 has a really solid feel, I would say, but it's bulky. So I use 30-foot. You could use 40. I started with 40. I thought it was excessively long, and I could do it with a shorter rope. So I have 30 feet of sterling HTP. It's a static rope, and it's stiff, and it works well for the tethers. That's TRC hitch cord. Get an example of it here. 6mm TRC sterling TRC hitch cord. 25 feet of that. And then you need just some odds and ends 550 cord. That's whatever you got that's long enough. Could be used, it doesn't really matter for a lot of this. And then 1-inch webbing. I have 8 feet of that. So I have 2 4-foot long stirrup loops. Need I have this 3/4 inch heat shrink tubing. Total of 96 inches I have here, so 8 feet of that. And then you need 4 feet of I have more than that here, but that, back up a second. This 3/4 inches is 3-to-1 shrink and adhesive lined. And this stuff in particular is it was like XHF or something. I can put that in the probably put that in the description. Yeah, XHF. And then I have for the 4 feet of 1.25 inch 2-to-1 non-adhesive line. 4 feet of that. Other than that, like a heat shrink gun, something to cut the ropes in that. I use electrical tape on the ends of the TRC hitch cord because it doesn't melt. The HTP rope is all nylon, so it melts really nice. You can do that with a torch. I got nap gas torch there, and then what else? Some of this, some of the hitch cord is stuff that I used, like the stopper. When I make this stopper, rather than use a what is it? Ashley stopper knot, and I make this stopper so I can do this ground release. This can be older cord. It doesn't really matter. I wouldn't use anything extremely damaged, but that can just be what they call upcycled. and recommend some new cord for your definitely for your the ball anchor hitch, the hitch to your bridge, and then the lines, the stirrup lines, should be some really good new cord. And then I have some of this dip. This plastic dip stuff for the section of the stirrup that goes in the ground, just to keep the dirt from grinding into it and wearing it out faster. Other than that, we'll get started. I'm going to start by cutting two pieces at 24-inch long of this 3/4 3-to-1 heat shrink tubing, adhesive lined. One there. One there. I don't know if they'll sell this stuff 4 feet at a time, but well, we need more than that. Maybe a 8-foot piece. You can probably just get an 8-foot piece, so you don't have to have a big long roll of that. And then I'm going to have 2 more 2-foot long pieces, and this will be the 1.25 inch. 2-inch or 2 foot, 24 inches. So first I'm going to put all my pieces of heat shrink tubing that I just cut, these 4, onto the 30-foot of rope. And it can be a little sticky, so I have a this cleaning rod. This is an 1/8 inch brazing rod that I have. The end all knurled up. I'm going to tape it to the end of my rope. And push them through. Repeat 3 more times. And now we're going to put the we'll put a 3/4, and then we'll put both of these 1 1/4 inch pieces on, and then we'll deal with what we're going to do with that later. So now we're going to start forming the ends, the bypass links. And to do that, we're going to cut some 3/4 inch heat shrink tubing. So I'm going to cut 4 of these 5 inches apiece. So now we're going to start forming the loop in each end of this rope. And we're going to take And slide 2 of these 5-inch pieces on each end. 1. 2. And then we're going to form a bite on each end. And let's say we're going to go 9 inches from the end of the bite to the end of this rope. We're going to slide the first piece of heat shrink up. I'm going to keep that 9 inches, and then we'll have about 3.5 here. The same thing on the other end. Go. About 9. And then 3.5, and shrink them down. I don't want to heat the rope too much. Just keep the heat on the heat shrink, and I'll watch for, I can see the rope to print through, and I'll watch for the adhesive and do its thing. And do that on both ends. Make sure this one didn't slip or anything. Then I'm going to slide that next layer up. Over the top. On both of them. Kind of warm still. Shrink that down. But as I do, I'm going to form it into a bend, into a bite. So Same thing on the other. I can form this bend later too. I can heat it up again. So now we're going to tie the figure 8 part of the bypass link on each end, and they have a handedness. So this is the left-hand version, and the right-hand version is symmetrically opposite. So I'm going to start with the left here, and I'll form this bite over the top like this. I'll come around the back and down through. I have to work this around now, like that. So we formed a figure 8, and then this loop with the stopper hitch that we put on it later will come down through, so that this end comes down through, around, and it'll come back in. That's how we use it, like that. And we'll have to dress this around to form the size, this size loop here that we want in the end, like that. And then we'll do the other side here, the other hand. So the other hand is same but sim-op. I want to end up with, I prefer to end up with this tag end towards the inside, towards the tree, like that. So in use, this will be facing out towards you. So I'm going to take this one, come over the top, around, down in, and then we'll dress it around until we have our desired loop size on the end. And I'll twist this out this way, like that. So that's what that looks like, properly dressed. So they should be similar in their size, like that. And then we're going to measure back from the knot to where we're going to start our 2 foot of heat shrink, because we have to be able to open this bypass link, so we have to be able to slide this back like that without the heat shrink holding us up. So it looks like I've got, say, 4 inches here. So I'll slide this is controllable at this side here now. This end is set, so we don't worry about, we got plenty on there for what we gotta have to do later, but I want to get this kind of in here tight. Come back 4 inches, and I'll move this 3/4 inch heat shrink up. So within 4 inches of the knot there. 4 inches there. I'm going to shrink that down in place. Now that we got the this 3/4 inch heat shrink on there, I'm going to slide this 1 1/4 inch up. And when we shrink this, it should not hold. It'll shrink down and get close, but it should not hold, because we want it to be able to slide when we're done. So that'll be able to slide when it's shrunk, but it's thicker than the stuff I used before. If you needed something even more durable, I guess you could get another 1 1/4 inch 2-to-1 with the adhesive and shrink that on top of this, and it would stick to this one but still be able to slide over that inner strand. So now I'm going to shrink the other one, and then we'll go on to the next step. So now that I got those shrunk, take a look at one of them here. It slides nice and easy. It's thicker and should work well. But now that we got that done, I'm going to go ahead and make this stopper hitch with this end. Now I don't routinely use this end. I use it if I rappel down from above a limb. So if I go past limbs when I climb and I want to rappel down and release this from the ground, I'll use this hitch. And to do that, I'll slide this back like that, and then this will go in here, and then this will go through that end like that. And then I have a paracord pull down that will pull this out once my weight is off of it, and then pull that out, and the paracord will fall free, and then this will fall free. So anyway, it can be used without that, and like that. So we're going to make that now. I'm going to start with, and I can use, I use this TRC for that. That's what I've been using. I have it. I'll make, I'll do 2 30-inch pieces, and then I normally just wrap the ends with electrical tape, but in this case you just need a little bit, because we're gonna heat shrink that, and the heat shrink sticks out past the end. We heat shrink them both together. So I'm gonna cut 2 of these 30 inches. And then I'm going to wrap the ends with some little bit of tape just to hold them for now. You can't melt this. This TRC has a Technor sheath and core, and it doesn't melt like nylon. It's good for 900 degrees according to the manufacturer. So I'll just see, and then. So I'll find the center of each one, like that, and then I'll take my so this is the outside of this hitch. It faces us. You get this cross here. The back side looks like that. This crosses here. This side looks like this. So you want to tie it so it ends up like this. We'll find the center. And we'll lay we'll flip this over. So I do it right-handed, but I'll lay the center over top. And I'll just take one side and pull it up through, and it come back and forth like this a few times. And then the other side, sometimes I get confused on this one, but I get it back. We go. They won't cross on the back, so that's how you know you got it. And they both come up through the middle. And then they don't cross. Or do they? Let's see. It works the same either way. It's just it'll look like that in the back. So let's see if it's every other one. So I think that one there, that one will go there. Yeah, so it goes like that. So that looks right. And then we'll take the two ends. We'll have to, we'll work this around till it's centered up again. Till the ends are even. And get the ends even, and then and we'll kind of tighten it up. We get more on this one. Push this one through. Work this around. Like that. Till they're even. I'm going to do that for the other side. So here's what the back looks like. Here's what the front will look like here. Oh, sorry. Here. Put them both right side up. But I use 3 coils on each side, like that. And then I'm going to take the 2 legs and they go up through here. One at a time. You can adjust this for tightness, but so I'm going to go up like that. Same thing here. Take the 2, put them up through this first wrap. Like that. Then we're going to cut a couple pieces of paracord and a couple pieces of heat shrink tubing, the 3/4 inch stuff, and we need I'll cut 2 3-inch pieces. Two at 6-inch. So we take these and slide them over the top of these pieces of TRC. And I'm going to let the end of this hang off a little bit, and we need some of this in here for some flexibility. So I'm going to shrink that down now. And while they're still warm, I'm going to form them like that. Let's see. A little stiff when they're new, but I'm going to kind of form them like this. So now I'm going to form this section of this release, and this is how long I have it. It's let's see, that's 2 inches, 2 inches back. This one's a little longer, the new one here, so I can go, I'll go 3 inches back from here, from where the end of the cord is right there. So I'll go 3 inches back from that, and I'm going to tie a constrictor knot. And I'm going to do that on each one of these. So take a paracord and this constrictor knot is like a the way I tie it here. I'll go over, and then I'll do an overhand. So I'll go over the heat shrink, over the cord itself, come around, and I'll do an overhand here, and then pull it through. That's the constrictor knot. And then I'll take it and put it in place. This will give it a longer end. This is what locks it when you use the release mode. So this pulls out, this will pull out, and then the pull down pulls this out. The reason I put this here is to give it a bit of a shoulder, and we tie a loop in that pull down cord that's just big enough to fit on this, but not go past here. And then we're going to put this heat shrink over the top of it. I'm going to get a couple pliers and really pull down tight on that. So I really pull down. And then I don't have to trim these ends back. I can just lay them back here. Maybe cut this this knot off. Now I'll just put the heat shrink over top of this. Be a little stubborn here. I don't want to not go much past there. Kind of even with the knot. Trim that off. And then shrink that down. Again, while it's still pliable, I'm going to form the releasable version, ground releasable version of this. So put this in here. put it in here, it'll be like that, more or less. And I could probably heat this up until it pretty much takes the shape that we want it in the end. Without heating the rope, try not to heat the rope. So here's our completed bypass links in the ground release mode. And then the regular climbing mode is just, take that out of there, that out of there. You slide the stopper to the end and put it through. A bit stiff right now. Anyway. And then now I'm going to put a thumb loop on here because I want to be able to grab this, and then something to grab this so I can pull this open. I want to be able to pull that open, so we need something here to get a hold of. Or it makes life easy anyway. So there's no real magic in this one. You could do as simple as whatever kind of you could do that, and then tie the ends. The only thing, the problem I have with that is if you have this loop too long, or it can hang down when you move your lower tether up, especially on the upper. You move your lower tether up, if these are hanging down, you pinch it in there, and then you have to fiddle with it while you climb. But so I've been doing this. I'll wrap like I don't know, 4 to 6 wraps in here. Yeah, let's see. Kind of get these even, not too tight. And then I'm gonna run this one through these this way. And out. Come over the top of that and come back this way with this one. I believe go under that last one there, and then evenly draw these up. I'll draw these up like that. So this loop size and this stopper knot's going to be preference, but if you make it too big, like I say, it'll get in the way of the other, the upper thumb loop here will get in the way of the lower tether. But you lay these two side by side, and you take the one and you form this this loop like this. Let's see, no, like this. So on the left you'll form a loop like this with this on top, and on the right you'll form it like that. And then this will go through here. And this one will go through here. And then each one goes through the other loop one more time. Like that. And then you kind of dress it up easy till it looks like this, and then set it. Like, I'm going to make this a little smaller, then I'll tie the other one. I'm going to tie the other one first, and I'll come back and make that one smaller. But so again, we take this here, and take the one on the left and go over like that, and the one on the right, do the same thing on the back. And I'll put this end through here, and put this end through here. And then I'll do it one more time. I'll just continue around with each one more time through that loop. And kind of get it to draw up even, and then once it looks like it's the size you want, and it looks like this goes over the top here. Looks like that. Whoop. Looks like an X on both sides. You get it the size you want, then I would set it, and then maybe trim the ends back and reburn them. Whatever you got to do, but don't make them too big. They just get in the way. The way I use it is I want to be able to do this with gloves or mittens on. So when I'm climbing and I want to open this bypass link, I'm going to grab it here and stick my thumb through, and that way I don't have to take my mittens or gloves off to work this. And we want to pass it through both. That's one side. And then on the other side, we'll tie another one like this. Can't get my fingers in there. Make a marlin spike. It's a lot of help. You start tying all these knots, and that's probably that's a good size, and then the ends I don't have to mess with. So there's an alternative closing for that loop. So there's this wrap with Gorilla Glue and paracord that I do, and it's nothing special. I'll kind of demonstrate it here. I'm not going to do it for the video because it's kind of a mess, and I need a second set of hands to kind of help keep it from getting unruly. But and my helper's not available right now, so I'll just show what I do. It's not, like I said, it's not a big deal, but you take your extra paracord, and I would tape this up with masking tape, and I would tape all this up with masking tape. But all I do is I'll probably do like another constrictor hitch here. So again, you go around like that. You go around and over this part of the line and come up and do a overhand and then put the end through there. And you pull this tight. You pull this real tight. And then the way I do it is I have my helper, Deb, some Gorilla Glue on here as I go. And then I'll just take, and I'll usually throw these, I either wrap it or I'll do like that where I have, where I'll keep doing this here. I'll just take a loop. Like that. Over and over. Until I get to the other end. And then if I want more, I'll go back. But I would try one layer. If you ever had to do this, you could carefully cut. Well, you can cut the paracord. And even though the glue will hold it really well, if you get one end, you can kind of unwrap. If you just have it wrapped like that, you can unwrap it. So that'd be an advantage for that way. You could just wrap it, and you don't even have to really pull it tight. And then do, you know, put one of these every once in a while. Throw one of these on there. And then wrap with the glue, and that will turn this into a really tough. It's rigid. It's tough. It's tough. I don't remember what else. Oh, I know what I put in here. I had some cheap rope from Harbor Freight, like the 3/8 inch diameter stuff, 1 or 2 pieces that I laid around the sides, or the one side and the back, just to give some offset from the tree. And then it holds its shape so that the knot in the stirrup cord can pass through. But you put Gorilla Glue on here, and you wrap it, and you tie the end, and you let it kick off. And then you trim the ends, and it will be on there for a while. The dog has them for chew toys. He's got his first one. He still hasn't. He's got one of the original ones of these, and he hasn't chewed through it yet. So it's good stuff. So that's that part. I shouldn't have to go into that too much. And then I will tie an example of the stirrup, and then the only difference between the two stirrups is one is a little longer than the other, but they're tied the same. What I use is 100 inches of TRC for the long one and 80 for the shorter, and then the kids are trying to die on the street today. 100 inches for one, 80 inches for the other, and then 2-foot pieces of 1-inch webbing is what I use. If it hurts your feet to use 1-inch webbing, you could use 2-inch. So now I'll tie the stirrup line, the hitches, and tie that to the foot loop webbing. And since I'm going to put this on my right hand, it's going to be my upper, and I'm going to tie the longer of the two stirrup lines. I locate the right hand bypass link, and I guess the one way to tell that is with it towards you like this. This hook kind of points to the right, this is on the right, and the loop is on the left. So I'm going to tie this hitch to this line. I come underneath the heat shrink, and I folded my line in two I'll have to balance that out later, but I start to make, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 wraps here like this, and then I go over to the 4th one from the left, and I'll put this end through like that, and I'll keep it on this side of the main rope, wrap it back under, and it'll come out right next to, parallel with that line, like that. And then I'm going to even up the ends. So the ends are even. So I got a little ways to go. But let's see. Pretty close there. So I have to get all the get all this slop out of this thing before it'll set like that. But once it's set and the ends are even, then I'm going to tie. I tie, I don't do a different handedness on these hitches here. What I'm calling a trigger hitch, because you can pull this over like the trigger, I guess, and break it free if you have to. But I tie them both the same way, and I also tie all the knots here the same way. So starting with whichever one, I'm going to get the end of this webbing and make a bite like that, and then pass this back over the top until I have this. So it's like an S, and then this will come over like that. And then I'll take one leg from the stirrup, one of the stirrup lines, and I'll come up under here in the middle, and I'm going to go down into this loop here like this. And then I'll come up around one time. Let's get a little more slack in here. I'll come up around one time, and then another like this, and then I'll turn this end back and put it through here. And then I don't need too long of a tag end on this, but I'll start dressing this up. So on one side of the knot, you'll have this one, and you'll have two here, and you'll have this, and this helps you get it on tight if you need to adjust it or whatever you have to do. But I can dress it up, I can pull some of this back and work it back through this way here, and then pull it like that. And these have never slipped on me. You got it trapped. You got this rope going through this loop here, and then you got it cinched there, and you got it through there, and so these do not move. So then I'll do that again over here. I'll make this S like this, make this S, like that. And then if you're shorter, I'm about 6 foot, so if you're shorter, you can choke up on this, have a longer tag end here, use a shorter line, shorter webbing. And if you're taller, you might add some, but yep, I come back up through here, down through the loop on the end, this loop, like this. And then I'm going to go around once, and then twice, and then come reverse around this hitch cord line like that, and then dress it and set it. And again, I got this one line on this side, 2 on this side with the tag in for the webbing. Yeah, these are real nice. These are nice hitches for this. There's no sewing in any of this. I wanted people to be able to do this with just simple tools. So, so that's our foot loops. That's the one. The other one's just tied with a 80-inch long hitch cord. So last thing I'm going to show you on this, I think, for this video is how to tie this, well, I call it a bull anchor hitch here, and then each tether end has its own Michoacán. So there's one here on the right, the upper, and on the left, the lower. And then these paracord loops, I use them to help dress and set this thing and kind of tune in the hitches. It's there's enough material in this, how would you call this, compound hitch, this whole assembly, that to get these hitches tuned up right. This facilitated that. You could also use marlin spike and get it tied real tight in the beginning, and then when you weight it, you can't really pull to reproduce your own weight like this. So when you weight this, this is going to pull, this is going to string out, kind of stretch out, and you want to have a lot of that out of there because you don't want it too loose, and you don't want it too tight because you won't be able to run these lines through here, so it can tend just like that. So I'm going to tie this for you now. So I'll tie this on the carabiner, but we're going to have to take it out at one point. But I'll even up the 2 ends like that. And I'm going to start with a bull hitch. And one way I tie it here is just to form this double loop like this. And put the 2 ends through. And then we're going to put our carabiner in here. Keep our ends fairly even from the start, and that way we won't have a pain later. But so I'll form this bull hitch now, and I'm not going to pull it too tight. And then I'll take, so here's my upper tether, there's my stirrup line, and the stirrup lines are tied in above this. And then here's my lower, the left one. And I don't have the stirrup line on that yet, but I would tie that stirrup in above this. So I'll start on with the right, and I'll give this like 5 wraps here, coils. Let me make sure what I got. Yeah. So I'll go, so I have 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it'll come under this and one coil like that. Or, yeah, one of these coils like this. Like this. And now I'm going to get the left-hand side up to that point. So wrapping from the inside, I'm going to wrap this one this way. You can do some other kind of hitches if you want to. This is what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll come under this one and one coil here, like this. And I'll start to get some of that slack out of there. But then, so I'm going to bring these 2 ends, these working ends, bring that back in here. And on the back side, there's the front where we started. On this back side, there's a loop for the bowl hitch. I'm going to feed both of these back down through here. And I know it's a lot going on in one knot, but it does a lot of stuff for you you can't otherwise do without a lot of mechanical devices. So, and then I don't think it's that bad to tie, but, and then I wrap it back under through the carabiner, and now I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to go up under these 2 wraps on the bowl hitch. And at some point here we have to we'll get those under. If I have to lift this, I get my marlin spike in here. Kind of pull some, get some space. But I'll put that one up through 2. And what this does is this anchor, bowl anchor hitch, isolates each leg of each Michoacan. So if this leg should break, not that it ever would, this whole knot doesn't come undone. Or if this one broke, or if even both of them. Push this in here. And then the last part of tying this is to take these ends and we're going to pass them through under there. But to do that, what I'll do is I'll take the carabiner out temporarily. I'll take this one and pass it this way through all 4 of these. And this one will pass through this way. Through all 4. Like that. And now, when I run my carabiner, I'm running it through 4 loops. So 2, 3, 4. Bring it around. So now, starting from the bottom of the Michoacan here, I'm going to twist these up, and I'll start pulling the slack out of these friction hitches. So that's why this is part of the reason I put the paracord pieces in the other knot. And then this one runs down through here and around, so I can pull up on that, and that slack will go. This slack will drop. See how that went, like that. And then on the tag end gets longer, and then I'll come over here and I'll work these coils tighter and pull this one again. And then it comes up around here, so this is the left side. So I'll pull that one tighter. And that tag end gets longer. Then I have to go weight this, put my saddle on and hook it up to a tree and weight this. And if any too much slack shows up in these Michoacans, I'll just work it out. I'll work it out so it comes out this end. And then once they're set, they're pretty much set. You don't have to mess with them anymore. But that's the whole build. I know the video's a little long. I hope it helps. I appreciate if you stuck around and watched. I'm going to start using this one here. Well, I'll use it. Rifle season's coming up. But I have a scrape on the ground I have to hunt from the, I should say from the ground. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Got any questions? Hit me up in the comments.